Gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, I'm back in the kitchen again today, and we went down to Camp Verde yesterday for the Corn Fest, and we also stopped by this great farm stand, and they had some really beautiful, really ripe tomatoes there, and it really inspired me to make one of my favorite summertime dishes, and that's the cold soup, gazpacho. Now, I worked in a Catalan Spanish-style restaurant for many years, and I've made a ton of gazpacho over the years. But they also had at this farm stand, they also had these really nice roasted green chilies, which they roast right there. So that really kind of gave me the idea of doing a roasted green chili gazpacho. Now, as you know, gazpacho is really, really simple. It only has, very few ingredients. Typically, tomatoes are the most important ingredient, and then often green bell peppers, which today I'm going to substitute the roasted green chilies. Has cucumber, and then oftentimes a little bit of onion, some garlic, of course sherry vinegar. That's one of the most important ingredients in my opinion, although you can substitute red wine vinegar if you can't find the sherry vinegar. But the sherry vinegar really gives it that flavor that's really authentic. Of course, some olive oil and some salt and pepper. And I'm going to add, of course, that wouldn't be a recipe of mine if I didn't add some chiltepines in there. So I've got 3 chiltepines to add to this, and that's going to give it a little bit of kick. Now, the only thing that I'm missing that's a traditional ingredient would be bread. And sometimes I put bread in there, and sometimes I don't. And, I think a lot of people would say if it doesn't have bread, it's not gazpacho. But I don't agree with that. I think that depending on how you feel, sometimes I put bread, and sometimes I don't. It does add a nice thickness and a nice texture to it, but sometimes I'm not in the mood for that. So today I just want like a real clean, sort of vegetable-based gazpacho. Now, it's super easy, really. We just need to put all these ingredients into a blender, blend it up, and there you go. You're done. Bob's your gazpacho. But today I don't have a blender, so I'm going to be using my hand blender, and I'm going to be doing it in this pitcher. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to start getting all of our ingredients chopped up for the right size, and then we're going to
So I think I'm going to start with my tomatoes. Just want to cut the stemmy part off, and then just in some nice chunks. We'll put that into our pitcher. Okay, you can see so far I have my tomatoes, and then I'm going to put my onion. I'm going to take a little piece, let's put that into our thing, and then I'm going to take a little bit of our onion and I'm going to chop some up for some garnish. Okay. Then we have our cucumber, Let's see. Just going to cut this up in chunks. Some people peel their cucumber. I kind of like the peel on it. Let's see. I think I'll use. I'm going to use all of this cucumber. I want to dice up a little bit of this cucumber for a garnish. Okay, and then our clove of garlic, which I'm going to just cut into smaller pieces. And then last but not least, our green chilies. I'm going to take a little bit of this for a garnish as well. Okay, and then the rest is going to go into our gazpacho. Okay, we have all of our vegetables in our little pitcher here, and look how beautiful this is already before we even blend it up. So we have our tomatoes, our onions, our cucumbers, our roasted green chilies, and our garlic in here. Now I'm going to add to this, I'm going to add some salt and pepper, of course, some salt, some fresh ground pepper, now I tasted one of these green chilies. I'll try it again. It has a little bit of a kick to it, so I'm not going to put all three of my chiltepines in there. I'm going to put one in there today. And then to finish this off, we're going to add some olive oil. Best if you have some nice extra virgin olive oil. This is all I have today. And then a splash of this sherry vinegar. Like I said, this is super important in the recipe for that authentic flavor. Okay. And I'm also going to add just a little bit of cold water, just to kind of get it started. We'll see if we need to add some more in a bit. Okay, now for the fun part. Now this is also the time at which you would add your bread, preferably stale bread, and that's going to add a nice body and thickness to this if you want that. Okay,
Check it out. Look how pretty that looks. Not as pretty as it was before we blended it up, but kind of has this nice reddish pink color to it. Now, if you notice this one, it is a little bit, you can see some of the bits and pieces from the cucumber peel and the green chilies and the tomatoes, and if that is something that you don't want to see in there, this is more of a rustic version of it. You can definitely put this through a strainer and remove a lot of those little bits and pieces if you like it a lot smoother. Also, you can peel your cucumber before you put it in here. All right, so I'm going to take a little taste, see if I need to adjust the seasoning. Yeah, actually, need some more salt. Good amount of salt. I'm going to put a touch more olive oil. I have about half a cup of olive oil in there total, and then I'm also going to put another touch of this sherry vinegar. Alright, I think that's going to be perfect. So I'm going to put a lid on it, and I'm going to pop this into the fridge so it can get nice and really cold, which is the way I like it. And this is one of the reasons why I like doing it in this pitcher, because it makes it easy to serve it later. So we're going to pop this in the fridge for a little bit, and then we're going to come back and we're going to put it in a bowl. Alright, our gazpacho is nice and cool now. It also helps to give it some time for all of the flavors to kind of meld together. So now let's serve this up.
Here is our, oh, look at that. Nice thick gazpacho. You can see how it's nice and thick even without the bread in it. It's like that. And then we'll take some of our garnish. This is some of that chopped onion and cucumber and green chilies. And then to finish this off, a drizzle of olive oil around. And like I said, once again, if you have extra virgin olive oil, that'll be much better than this. Okay, can't wait to try it. Look at that. I have my cowboy bandana here because this is sort of a southwestern inspired, maybe cowboy inspired gazpacho.
All right, there it is. This is my southwestern influenced roasted green chili gazpacho. All right. It smells really good. I love gazpacho, especially in the summertime. It's one of my favorite meals to make on a hot day. First off, it's really tomatoey, and well, really, it's usually only like, the main three ingredients are tomatoes, cucumber, and bell pepper, and those are the flavors that you really want to shine through, and they really do here. The tomato, the cucumber for sure, and then instead of green peppers, I used roasted green chilies, which gives it a little bit more depth of flavor, and it also gives it a little bit of a bite to it. That is really good and really refreshing. Now, like I said, this is sort of a rustic version. It's kind of a chunky, rustic version of it. If I were to do this in a restaurant, quite possibly I would strain it out so it was very, very smooth and silky. And then I would still put the garnish on top, but the mouthfeel would be a little bit different. This is a little bit coarser, but delicious. And this is the way I actually prefer to eat it. Look at that. You can see how it stands up on that spoon there, and it has a lot of body to it. And this is without the addition of bread. I do really love it with bread in it, and most of the time if you get it in a Spanish restaurant, it's going to have bread in it, so that's something to be, if you're gluten-free or whatever, that's something to be aware of. But of course, the star of the show is always the nice, ripe, fresh summer tomatoes, and that's really what the first thing that hits you. And then you get the cucumber and the peppers, and then that sherry vinegar. Like I said, you can substitute red wine vinegar if you like, but it really is not the same. The sherry vinegar really gives a distinctive flavor that you don't find in the red wine vinegar. And then the garlic and the onion, just a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion, I think is a nice accent to this. Don't overdo it, because it can really overpower the soup. Then you don't even really taste the tomato and the cucumber and stuff. So the garlic and the onion can really overpower it quickly. And then, of course, really good olive oil. Anyway, that's so good. I'm going to sit down and enjoy this. I hope you like this video. If you do, please like, please subscribe. That always helps us a lot.
Yes,
and we will see you in the next one.
it's
All right.
fun
Bye.
to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I on the road.
Cowboy Gazpacho.